were reduced to rubble. How oligarchs took over business. How chosen few concentrated wealth in their hands and amassed and laundered wealth out of Bangladesh. In all, justice, ethics, and morality, almost at every level, reached a low. Under such circumstances, we were asked to rebuild Bangladesh and re-establish the country that our people aspire to see, to correct the ills of the past as also to build a competitive and agile economy and a just society. In a drastically changed scenario, all political parties are now free to voice their views and opinions. A key priority for us is also to make all in public positions and institutions to account for their decisions and actions. We are committed to promote and protect the fundamental rights for people to speak in freedom, to assemble without fear or inhibition, to vote whosoever they choose. This is what the nation desires, and we aim to achieve. We are also committed to uphold the independence of the judiciary and freedom of press, including in the cyber domain. In order to ensure that child of a farmer or worker can scale the highest in the society, we prioritize allocation in education and health sectors over grandiose infrastructure development. We also aim at ensuring good governance across all sectors. I wish to assure that our government shall adhere to all international, regional, and bilateral instruments that Bangladesh is party to. Bangladesh will continue to remain an active proponent of multilateralism with the UN at the core. Bangladesh is open to nurture friendly relations with all countries based on mutual respect, upholding our dignity and pride and shared interests. Mr. President, in the last 7 weeks, the government has initiated several actions. At our request, the UN High Commissioner for Human Rights has dispatched a fact-finding mission to investigate into the gross human rights violations during the People's Movement and to suggest for sustainable course correction. That mission has already started work on the ground in Bangladesh. I wish to register my deep appreciation to the High Commissioner, Volker Turk. We have acceded to the International Convention for Protection of All Persons from Enforced Disappearance within 2 weeks in office. The required national legislation is underway so that we can effectuate its early implementation. An inquiry commission has started investigating into all the cases of enforced disappearances reported during the past decade and a half. In order to restore people's trust and confidence and to ensure that the tragic past never recur in future Bangladesh, we have initiated reforms in certain prioritized sectors. In that direction, we launched independent commissions to reform electoral system, constitution, judicial reform, civil administration, law and order sectors. A few more commissions are on the cards to reform other sectors, including press and media. In order to create a conducive environment for business, we have rolled out extensive reforms in banking and financial sectors. We affirm not to let any foreign business interest to be affected. Beyond rhetoric and numbers, we aim to establish effective safeguard mechanisms to ensure the sustainability of these reforms and create an enabling environment towards conduct of full, free, fair and participatory elections. I would therefore call on the international community to continue and deepen engagements with Bangladesh in meeting our people's quest for democracy, rule of law, equality, prosperity, so that we can emerge as a just and inclusive democratic society. Mr. President, Bangladesh views that maintaining peace and addressing conflicts is central to people's progress. During the recent revolution, our valiant armed forces have once again shown their commitment to peace by standing firmly with the people in fulfilling their aspirations for freedom during a most difficult time in our history. This was possible thanks to our commitment to peace, place human rights at the core of peacekeeping. Bangladesh remains equally committed to peace building from the inception of the UN Peacebuilding Commission. We look forward to promoting and enhancing Bangladesh's value-driven contributions to the UN peacekeeping operations. As the third largest troop contributing country, our peacekeepers had served across 63 missions in 43 countries to date. "168 Bangladeshi peacekeepers had laid their lives from Bosnia to Congo. We do hope that Bangladesh Defense Forces would continue to be called upon in the future UN peace operations, regardless of the challenges or circumstances. Mr. President, in our shared habitat, this world, many of the global priorities need to be set right. Climate change poses existential threat to all of us. The record-breaking heat wave this summer starkly reminded the world of the climate-induced challenges. What we need is climate justice, so that the irresponsible choices or indifferent actions or harms caused are accounted for. Long-term damages leave irreparable damages all around. We are losing biodiversity, changing pathogens leading to newer diseases. Farming is under stress, shrinking water threatening habitat. Rising sea level and salinity decimating ecosystems. The damages in terms of rising intensity and frequency of cyclones or floods can hardly be ignored. The climate risks are faced far deeper by our small farmers and artisanal livelihood holders. As I speak, over 5 million people witnessed a most devastating flood in their living memory in eastern Bangladesh. Yet Secretary General Guterres showed that under the current trajectory, the world is heading for a plus 2.7 degrees centigrade scenario. I would hence urge for channeling robust resources for climate adaptation in the climate vulnerable countries like Bangladesh. It is moreover crucial to operationalize loss and damage fund by leveraging innovative solutions and additional finance. We equally need access to technologies and increased capacity. To be specific, we need access to life-saving technologies, particularly in agriculture, water, or public health, where a trickle of modest solutions or innovations can save millions of vulnerable population. Tackling climate crisis has to go hand in hand in getting global economy in order as well. The world is increasingly focused on decarbonization. In order for such a shift to be beneficial to majority of global population, the transformative vision of a net zero world has to redeem for countries like Bangladesh. Else, we risk falling short on our pledge to shared prosperity through shared responsibility. I believe the world needs to engage on a shared vision of three zeros that we can materialize together, targeting zero poverty, zero unemployment, and zero net carbon emissions. Where a young person anywhere in the world will have the opportunities to grow not as a job seeker but as an entrepreneur. Where a young person can unleash his or her latent creativity despite all limitations. Where an entrepreneur can optimally balance social benefits, economic profits, and responsibility towards nature. Where social business can help an individual transcend beyond consumerism and can ultimately catalyze in social and economic transformation. Time demands new attitudes, new values, new compacts across communities and countries, across developed and developing countries alike, across all actors and stakeholders. If we are to realize such course correction in full,